What's up, everyone, and welcome to Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast, episode number 74. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and today I'm joined by Mr. Physical Copy himself, Ethan. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, Kev. How you doing, man?
I'm great. I was looking forward to this all week. Tell you
Yeah,
what.
excited.
Super pumped. And we just did our Batman spoiler cast. Like, everything's great right now. But guys, you might notice the panel is a little unfilled out, but we have a special guest to make up for it, and I think he takes the place of the other three just fine. So
Damn.
Listen, when I was on Iron Lords, Cog said I make fun of the panel, and I do. I make fun of you guys. So
Absolutely.
if you're watching on YouTube, you would have already seen him, but for our audio listeners, we have a special guest today. He is one of the four horsemen of gaming, Lord of the Round Table, lover of combat sports, statues, and has amazing Twitter banter. And as Cog says, the prophet of Xbox. Welcome, King David from the Iron Lords podcast. King, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. Today's like a really big day because my stepdaughter is giving birth today.
Ooh, wow.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome.
It's dope, right? So my wife was finding out what 12 hours in the hospital feels like.
Oh my goodness.
So she's having a ball. And I'm just in the house just like running around with the dog.
Cookies. That's crazy. I'm gonna go off on a little tangent, but when my sister had her child, I woke up one morning, went to watch a soccer game, and she was laying on the couch, writhing in pain. Right? She's like, "I need to go to the hospital. I think I got gallstones or something." I'm
No.
I was like, Kyle had gallstones. My brother. I was like, that's exactly what he looked like. So she went, and then 12 hours later, I got a phone call. You're an uncle. I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know she was pregnant. What do you mean? So yeah, she had a surprise baby that she thought was gallstones.
What?
That's nuts.
Yeah,
That's absolute nuts. Could you imagine going to the doctor and coming home with a little you? Like,
crazy.
Kevin just gets home. Who's that?
What is going on here?
Roommate.
Yeah, so crazy stuff going on, but we're an Xbox podcast, guys. So remember, if you like the show, we are live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time right here on YouTube. If you can't catch us live, we post every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time on all your favorite podcast services. While you're over there, please drop us a review, rate us on Apple or Spotify. It really does help us grow. If you leave us a 5-star rating on Apple, we'll read it live on the show. And you guys been slacking lately, so we're almost to 30. So how about you head on over there, drop us a review, and then I'll read your name, and you can feel good about yourself. If you want to...
Instant gratification.
That's right.
Yes.
If you want to interact with us more, join our Discord. I can treat you just like I am right now, but to your face.
Oh my God.
And if you want early access to all our content, because why wouldn't you? Head over to patreon.com/projectxtalk. And for $1 a month, you can get all our content early, plus the Patreon shout out. So shout out to Bucky Blue and Hopple for supporting us. We appreciate you guys so much. And that's housekeeping out of the way, guys. And a little more aggressive than usual, maybe. But
yeah, what's going on with you, Kevin?
I'm all riled up. Okay,
you're riled up. Yeah.
Energy. Yeah, feeling good. But as we do each and every week here, we start the podcast by going around the room and asking one simple question, and that question is, "What you playing?" So, as is custom, King, I want to know what you playing.
Well, can I just give a quick update?
Sure.
So every day I run to my Xbox when I get in from work, and I go straight to Game Pass, right? And I knew Guardians of the Galaxy was coming, but my days got shifted around and mixed up and thrown to the bushes. And I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like,
yes,
I am so happy I didn't buy it. So, I mean, in this wait now era that we're in with Game Pass, I waited, and I have been justly rewarded. But I'm playing Elden Ring. For that, I shall not wait. And I saw Lord Attic playing it on his stream. So I told a couple of the extended family that watched the podcast, I told everybody, I said, hey, listen, guys, if y'all want to see me stream this, y'all gotta go to the merch store and get 10 items, right? And I didn't think they was gonna do it. Well, I obviously there's a lot of people in this world that wants to see me go through misery. So
Yes.
because I suck at Souls games. But this Souls game is absolutely different than any Souls games that I've ever played before.
Absolutely.
Because the other Souls games was linear and they had a little branching paths that were, like they gave you the illusion that you can go anywhere, but usually you have to face that boss in front of you. If you want to advance, you have to do this, and that's a must. Not here. You see a boss, run. All right, and run until you get stronger and come back with a crew, and then you can handle them. And I'm screaming on live, right? Because I don't know how to activate my Ashen dudes, right? So I'm like, but somebody please help me. And I'm like, where's my friends on Twitter, please? Because I'm getting mangled by these bosses. And once I found out how to do those summons, I have been a literal terrorist.
It's a game changer.
Absolutely. Because if I could get something to distract you, then I could slide behind you and then give you the pokey poke, ain't no joke. Oh, it's so much fun. The worst thing I did in that game, though, was I was a warrior. I became a warrior. And I see everybody that's mages and stuff are living their best lives because they can fight at a distance. Me, I have to be up close and personal, and I have to parry. So that's what I'm playing right now. And Destiny.
Have you done the raid?
No. I laughed at COG and them for doing 12-hour day one raid because I think that's for foolish mortals. I'm not going to disrupt my Saturday in that. First of all, my wife is not going to hear that. Saturday's our day. So if you look at my timeline, anybody that looks at my timeline on Twitter, you would think she's Gordon Ramsay, how she prepares this food. Right. And I'm in charge of the drinks. I've been slacking a little bit. I'm sorry, babe. I'm in charge of the drinks. So usually I make some like pina coladas. I like fruity drinks. So what? Don't judge me.
I agree.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Bring the fruity back.
Yes.
So I make the drinks. And if I was to tell her I'm going to be in a raid for 12 hours with absolutely no idea of what we're supposed to do, I don't like that. So that's my equivalent of somebody saying, all right, King, I'm going to take you over to Jersey and drop you off in Swampland and figure it out. It's not fun. And no point in time should that be fun. So I watch these dudes do it, and I would check in periodically, and I would laugh at them at their expense. But no, I do everything else but the raid until they learn it, and then y'all can come get me and Sherpert me through. Please.
Exactly. That's the strat.
I know that life. So I played Destiny 1 a ton. I played Destiny 2 story, and then I dropped off of it. Yeah, but Destiny 1, the worst. I love the raids in Destiny. So that's like my favorite thing about the game. But I remember one Sherpa incident. Me and my brother, we went on looking for LFG on Reddit, was where everyone used to Sherpa up. And we're like, we'll lead you guys through the what was it? The Taken King one?
Yeah, the Taken King.
Yeah,
was it Oryx? It was Oryx.
Yeah. That raid. 9 hours later. And this is a raid I was like, we can do this in literally 30, 40 minutes. Yeah, 9 hours later, I was like, I hate every single person. Like, we're in a private, me and my brother, I'd turn to him, like, mute my mic and be like, I hate all of these people that we're with right now. Like, they are never going to get this. This is my whole day ruined. But we finally did. At one point, we were like, all right, guys, if we don't get it this run, we're leaving. Like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then we finally got it. But I know those painful raid experiences. It's a bit much.
Wait a second. It was you and your brother Sherpering 4 newbies?
Yeah, I've never done it before.
Oh, you were on drugs that day.
Yeah. Yikes. Yikes.
No, we have an absolute rule. Only one. We will only Sherper one at a time. Yes, it's not gonna happen. We can, especially this raid now. They have this little token system, right? Even when you're playing the regular game, if you're doing any hard encounters, it's a token system. If it's 2 people there, each one has a token.
Yeah.
They can only revive you once.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes.
Oh, I would never get through it. I would.
Ugh.
Nah.
So yeah, death is not an option. And I saw them in the raid with the token system, and I laughed so hard. I rolled over and I said, "Yeah, they're not finishing nothing today,"
No.
and they didn't. So
Yeah, I did. Have they beat it since then? Have they
um,
tried?
I'll find out on Sunday. I've
All
seen
right.
them, you know,
Look for the
like
update.
yeah, I know a couple of us, right? Because it's a couple of tryhards and sweats in there, and I know Tag did it. I know Sinister did it. I know a couple of people have done it probably, but Cog, I don't think he did it yet. I think he's working too hard, and he's like he don't need that in his life right now. So
It's fair.
not during the week.
It's fair. You gonna stick with Elden Ring, King?
Like right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm going through.
You're
Like,
like,
yeah, I found a new grace point, and it's like my thing is I love those games where you can be really so weak, but you can just travel the map, and if you can dip and dodge good enough and get away from stuff, you can open up the map so much, and you know you can see where the really hard bosses are. And yeah, he'll be right back. Boom! Told you.
Here I am. Sorry.
I saw him when he clicked something. He was like, "Oh."
Internet just died. It's okay though. I'm back.
But yeah, so I love those games, those wonderment games, and that game is the epitome of absolute wonderment. It's like I was looking at ACG's whatchamacallit of it, his review of it, or his impressions of it, and it was like a Toland's book. It's very Dungeon and Dragonous. It feels very alive. The world feels very organic. Nothing feels absolutely forced. Everything feels like it's supposed to be. Like and that's weird to say, but even the vistas when you stand out on a mountain and you can reach anything that you can see, as far as your eye can see, you can actually reach it, and it's just so alive. It's weird because I never thought I would talk about a Souls game in this manner because I brought Sekiro and I absolutely hate it.
ooh.
Hate it.
A lot of people did, yeah.
But this game is absolutely different. I understand where Addict thinks that it can be game of the year, but I don't think a game that is cross gen can win it when there's other games that will come out this year that will absolutely use and harness the power of these consoles going forward. So I'm like, Starfield might have something to say about that. You know, other games might have something to say about that. So I want to see at the end of the year if this game still holds up, but I can see me making a ton of different builds and actually going in between them. So
My brother in the chat says it's a 96 on Metacritic now. How the mighty have fallen.
oh, one point, right?
1 point, yeah.
1 point.
Showed him, got it good. I haven't jumped into Elden Ring yet, but I'm gonna throw it over to Ethan, find out what you've been playing because I know you've been playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, so I've been playing a little bit of Elden Ring. But yeah, when I rejoined, King David had made a mention about how when you see a mountain, you can go out and reach it, and how incredible the open world is of this game. I mean, I want to make a point that this game makes me feel like it's 2006 again, and I'm playing Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I mean, this is literally how this game is making me feel. It is absolutely incredible. I can't get enough of it. I will say, though, I went way too hard at the beginning. I started getting headaches. My hands started hurting. I played probably a solid 50 hours in the first weekend. It was addictive. So I had to take a pause this week. So this week I've been taking it low and slow. I've been playing some casual games. I've been playing a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator with my buddy who's training to be an Air Force pilot right now. So he's all into that stuff. I've been playing a lot of No Man's Sky. They just released a new update. That's been a lot of fun. But yeah,
that game, No Man's Sky, because we had a big controversy over it about broken games and how what state are they in now. My opinion is the internet has formed that habit, right? And the developer and the shareholders believe at some point a new adopter will jump into the game, and a new adopter jumping in today doesn't have the same experience of No Man's Sky when it released, when it was in its broken state.
That is absolutely true. Yeah.
My question to you is, if you played it in the beginning,
Yep.
what is the overarching change that you saw that made you go back to it? Because that's, you said No Man's Sky, and I'm just like, yeah, I do stuff like that too. But
Yeah.
what made you go back?
The biggest thing for me was more emphasis on exploration. There was a lot of UI upgrades that really made the menu transitions easier, and there was a lot more items that you could find. There was a lot more creatures that you could find. There was a lot more missions. There's just more to do. When the game initially released, you got into the game, you were awed by the size of it, but at the end of the day, there was nothing to do. There was no missions. There was no really journey to have. So they've constantly been updating it, adding new features here and there. And I think with this most recent update, I mean, we're the closest we've ever been to what No Man's Sky should have been when it initially released. And the developer has said we're nowhere near done with this game. So it's just a game that I've consistently jumped back into every now and then, because before it released, you know, I looked at it and I saw the premise of it and what they wanted to be, and I was so excited because I love space exploration games. I love games that are procedurally generated like that, where you can just explore infinite possibilities. So just the constant updates and the continuous communication with the community, I think they've just done a really good job at kind of rehabilitating their image and rehabilitating the game itself. So that's why I've constantly jumped back in to this game, because I just think they actually care about it, and they really want it to become something incredible. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that recently, just exploring worlds, finding new plants, animals, and minerals, you know, the normal stuff with No Man's Sky. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, Elden Ring, really fun. I'm going to be playing more this weekend. I'm definitely going to be playing some multiplayer because I've hit kind of a wall where I feel like my current build is just not powerful enough to get through some of these bosses that I have to get through. So I'm going to be playing a lot of multiplayer, probably with Tom and with Garrett if he gets online anytime soon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping back into Elden Ring after this nice little break.
Cool. I still probably won't play it.
Come on. You gotta try. No,
I
here's what
don't.
you do. You buy it digitally because you love your digital games, even though you don't like owning video games. I get it. Anyways, you buy your digital game, you play for 2 hours. If you don't like it, just refund it. You're good.
They won't the Xbox don't do that, okay? I bought.
I've never had an issue with that. They always refund my games.
So if you use PayPal, they'll refund you, I'm pretty sure. But I bought FIFA 22, and that was like, this game sucks. It was broken for like the first week, and I tried to get a refund, and they were like, nope, you don't get no refund. So
that's
I'm
weird.
a little
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm a little wary of their refund system.
Fair enough.
But I don't need to buy it. I can just wait for it to come to Game Pass. Then I'll play it there.
I don't know if From Software is coming to Game Pass.
I don't know either, but it's the only hope I got.
I feel like if Elden Ring's coming to Game Pass, we're going to see some of their older titles come first. We're going to see Dark Souls. We're going to see Sekiro. It's going to be, dipping their toes in the water to see if that's what they want to do. So.
Yeah,
possible. I mean, listen, any Souls game I've tried, I haven't enjoyed. So I'm not dropping 60 on it though.
Okay. So I'm right with you. I'm absolutely. Me and you are riding in the same boat. We're in the same canoe. Where you're on one side paddling, I'm on paddling on the other side. The hell with From Soft. I'm getting away from the whole building. Yeah. Elden Ring is different.
It really is.
And you know what it is? Because there is so many things for the casual player that can help the casual player along in any mission. But also there's if you like Elder Scrolls, like I'm not gonna lie, it's like, you remember when Elder Scrolls, like when you go to third person, you're like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah,
I gotta go to first person.
Oh no, I played in third person.
Oh,
you're a psychopath.
Yeah. Exactly. Any person I heard this plays in third person is a psychopath. But they did this. Just imagine third person done right, and that's this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I do always feel like I should the FOMO, like I see the scores, everyone's talking about it, like it's still good. Like, it came out weeks ago and everyone's still talking about it, and I'm like, all right, maybe there's something to this, but like I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, and I'm not going to.
Oh
And
no.
the thing about Elden Ring too, yeah, that's crazy, by the
Yeah,
way.
right?
But the thing about Elden Ring too is that I want to make it known for people that are maybe hesitant to jump into it. The Souls community, I know a lot of people look at it as maybe toxic or unwelcoming. That couldn't be farther from the truth. I
Well,
mean,
I
you go on.
mean, one of our
I mean,
stories might say otherwise about
there's
that.
there's bad actors. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but that's with any community. But at the end of the day, you go online and you look for support, and there will be so many people that go out and
Help
try and
you.
help you.
Yeah.
If you're stuck on a place or you can't beat a boss, there will be 100 articles written about how to fight this boss and tips and tricks. Go on Reddit, go on the Elden Ring Reddit. There's people always posting tips and tricks on how to do things. I mean, this community is really tight knit.
Dude,
They love each other and they want to help each other out play these games.
I got a OP. Okay, so I'm only level 15,
Okay.
right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm crap, right? Absolutely. I have one of the most, the dude when you go to the round table and he's in the skeleton suit?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got it.
You got that skeleton suit?
Yeah, at level 15.
Get out of here. No, you
I'm
didn't.
dead serious. I just posted it. I'm dead serious. I just posted it.
That don't
No
make no
cap.
sense.
It doesn't make any sense, right? Well,
funny.
I found this wonderful dude on YouTube who will tell you how to travel places at a low level. And I traveled. I got my swords and I got my little band of mischief. And they tell you where to get ashes from to help you. Yo, I should not be doing the stuff that I'm doing and where I'm at. But I beat 5 bosses at level 15, and I didn't know that I was supposed to go and level up and just put it on vitality because that's what a lot of dudes do.
Yeah.
I kept putting it on strength.
Yeah.
So I'm a super
Great.
glass cannon. Like I'll hit you, and then he'll just bash me in the head. And I'm just like, you died. And then I didn't know you're supposed to go pick your stuff up. Right. So
Yeah.
I saw the same boss before, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stare right there. I said, what's that glowing in the field? And I walked over to it. It was like, retrieve your items. I said, yo, the gods have smiled on me. Because when they kill you, all your money goes away.
Yeah. It's all gone.
Yeah,
No
they
matter how
knock
much
the
you
coins
have.
out your pocket like Sonic.
Yeah.
So it's like Diablo 2 where I have to go get my body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Yes.
But it's really not that
Dope.
difficult to do it as compared to other Souls games because you can just jump on your horse, charge in, grab it, and run away.
And
That's
dip out.
the wonderful thing about the open world. It's just get the hell out of there, you know?
Yeah. It's I know if you like Elder Scrolls, and
Mhm.
if you're like me and you put hundreds of hours in that game, you was
Mhm.
fighting dragons when you weren't supposed to.
Yep.
That's me with poison arrows from the back. It's taking 12 hours to kill a dragon.
Yes.
Just because you want dragon skill armor.
Yep.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it.
I mean, the chat's agreeing with you. Javier Rivera says, I didn't like Dark Souls, but Elden Ring is different. Super addicting if you like Elder Scrolls.
Yep.
Dark Souls, by the way, was the first word I meant. You're going to like Elden Ring. So he's echoing those sentiments. So maybe I bite the bullet and just give it a go.
Don't think it's going to be any more forgiving than any other Souls type game. It's
Now,
still hard as hell.
Okay, so if I get it, can you guys like come and help me and like just
I would
bring
love
me
to
along?
do that. That'd be so fun.
They will teach you how to make a bent finger, and you gotta wait.
Yep.
The game is absolutely creepy, right?
It's so
It's
weird.
stuff that it does, and it's weirdo stuff, and it's cool, but it has its own little mystique and lore to it that makes it unique. And I think that uniqueness, people fall in love with it.
Yes.
Some of the characters is just weirdo dudes. One guy has like a little baby that's on it with a little baby head.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
and you're
like that at all.
is the baby head gonna talk? Like,
it is one of the most mysterious games I've ever played, and that mystique really just engages you into the game. And like, what am I gonna find around the corner? That's what I'm constantly thinking about. Is like, what the hell is coming next? Because I don't know what this game's gonna throw at me. That's my favorite thing about this game.
Yes, absolutely.
Dope. Okay. Well, I'm considering it more now than I was before. I got to finish up some other stuff. We got some Ruben Almighty's in the chat. Nice to see you. Thanks for showing up. Many people don't like Dark Souls, but are all playing Elden Ring. That's true. My timeline is nothing but Elden Ring
It's
constantly these days. I'll round out our What You Playing section. I played 3 games this week. One is called Fury. This is a game from like 2016 from the Game Bakers. And I only played this game. So after we finished last week's show, I got on Discord. I was chatting with our friend Sean Capri over there at Yumi Capri and the Xbox Drive and all that. And he was like talking about Fury. And I was like, I don't know what this game is. And he was like, you never played Fury? And then I was like, nah. So one of his Discord members sent me a link to find Steam deals, and the game was like $5. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out for $5. I beat that game that night because it's like 3 hours long. It's a bullet hell type game, and let me tell you, I could not do the difficulty that they want me to do. I was like, this is way too difficult. So I lost enough and then dropped it down, and then I beat it. But it was a really fun game, really good. I like the art style of the Game Bakers. They always have that. If you've seen the game Haven, it's on Game Pass. It's on it's kind of that similar art style that they got going on over there. But it's just really pretty. And there was a twist at the end that I liked a lot. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's like 9 battles. It's just boss battles. It's a boss rush bullet hell. So it's a very quick game. A lot of replayability to try to get like higher scores and stuff. But the soundtrack, man, the soundtrack to this game slaps so hard. It's like one of those like you're working out the gym and you want to put on like, oh, there's some bangers in this game that
Nothing better than a good
put on.
soundtrack.
Yeah, is really good. Other than that, I've played Guardians of the Galaxy Game Pass. Yes. Yeah, I'm on chapter 3.
So happy you're finally playing that.
I like it so far. Combat is all right. Star-Lord likes to shoot behind him, so like he'll hold his arms behind him and just fire. And I was like, I don't know if this animation is like fully completed. But the actual interaction between the characters is hilarious. Like there have been multiple times where I just laugh out loud at what's going on. So I'm liking it so far. Gonna keep playing that. But the game I put the most time into, Triangle Strategy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, so this game's fantastic. I beat this game. I got it Friday. I beat it this week. There's 4 playthroughs. There's 4 endings, but I'm only gonna do one. Like I'm happy with the ending I got. I don't got another 100 hours to replay 3 times. So what I love about this game is like, first of all, it's beautiful. It's got that 2D HD like Octopath Traveler look to it, but it's a strategy game. And the battles are like way more complicated than a Fire Emblem strategy game, like where you just have a battlefield and you walk towards. There's one character in this game. He's a blacksmith. He has abilities to make ladders and put them up on buildings. And then you can climb up the building. And then you got your archer up there sniping down at people because that increases their range. Yeah. This game just has a lot of verticality, which I wasn't expecting. There's a bunch of like hidden little details like in the combat like that where you can freeze the land and it makes people walking across the ice slower. You can light it on fire. It's just a whole bunch of like mixing. And I have a priestess. She can make it rain and then my lightning does more damage. So it's like you can really strategize.
Combo.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's great. But what I think sets us apart is the story is really good. It's like a political drama almost. It's like Game of Thrones. Is kind of how I'm feeling about it. There's like 3 nations fighting each other for salt, which is like the stupidest thing ever. Like, it's salt. You're fighting over seasoning here. You're killing thousands of people.
They used to do it back in the day.
Yeah, right. That was a big commodity.
Yeah, like one nation is super like religious, and then the other 2 aren't, and they just all go into they all go into combat with each other. But throughout the game, certain chapters, you have decisions to make, and you have to basically convince your party members that like what you want to do is the right thing to do. So you can either, hey, we're going to burn down my whole town to fight off the enemies, but displace thousands of our villagers, or, we're just going to give up our friend and sentence him to death. So you just have to like make these decisions.
God damn.
No, that's like one of the easiest. That's like one of the easy decisions in my opinion. Yeah. Like, but like
no, that's my only friend. No, to war.
it gets harder. That's especially when they add in 3 options, because there's like 3 main endings and there's the golden route, but the golden route you need like certain stuff. But once they add in 3, you're like, oh my god, who do I choose? And it was always between like 2 characters for me, because the third one I was like, I don't like you at all. Like, you can just go off to the side here. I'm not listening to what you say. I'm over here, my girl and my best friend. We're trying to figure out who I'm siding with in this game. All right. But yeah, I think it's a great decision. Like, you got to explore, talk to people, and figure out, like, get information to actually make your decisions, and then convince people that, like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm the right person to lead us into this war. Yeah, I can't.
I've heard great things about it, especially because you tend to look around and see what everybody's playing, and I just kept hearing triangle strategy. Triangle. I'm like, what? And yeah, so my curiosity is piqued.
I do want to make it known that your brother called you out, Kev, saying you've never watched Game of Thrones.
No, I haven't. But I know it's like Game of Thrones. All right.
Well, after like 15 seasons, he was like, I'm not jumping in there. To hell with that rabbit hole.
Listen, I saw some of the episodes. Okay, I saw the Red Wedding.
I rewatched all of Game of Thrones in 2 weeks last year. You can do it. I absolutely loved it. I can't get enough of it. You gotta watch it.
I did that like The Sopranos every episode.
The Sopranos, yeah.
And I'm so happy how Netflix does their series. Drop them all to you and let you binge watch it. That waiting every Sunday until 9 p.m. and then you're sitting there with the HBO. All right, let's get to it. And then you gotta wait till next week. Like when the mountain, when that dude had the mountain beat and he just grabbed him and popped his eyeballs.
Oh my god.
He had the fight won. He wanted to gloat. Like, what? And when he did what he did to him, I said, you deserve it. You deserve every because the fight was over and that was it.
Oh my god.
You know what show I love the comment? Spartacus. Have you ever watched that show?
Yeah.
My dad loved that. I was growing up. I was like,
it's a good dad show. Yeah.
I was 12 and he's like, I love this show just because like it's gory and people get naked in it. And I was like, Dad.
Every episode did sex. Every episode.
Every episode, for real though. But, I watched that with my dad. It was a great show.
He said, sit down, son, sit.
Let me show you something.
We're gonna get maids and then sit. Just sit. I'll teach you how to fight in the yard.
That's funny.
Yeah, but no, if that, Ethan, I know you played the demo, but I would recommend Triangle Strategy if that's.
And I really enjoyed the demo. I really did. But honestly, it's like there's too much going on this month with games. I don't know if I want to make time for this because we got Tiny Tina's Wonderland coming out. We got Kirby coming out on the Switch. I got to play through that whole game. I got a lot to do. I got a lot on my plate. I think eventually I'll get to it though. So I'll make my report later on this year for sure.
All right, great. I want to just compare. I tweeted this at Addict, but I was like, I want to compare notes with someone. I would be like, did you kill your best friend or did you?
Oh yeah, Addict is an absolute nut with that.
Yeah. So I just want to compare with people. Like I keep asking, but like nobody I know has finished it yet. So I'm just like,
right, he did.
Well, he did.
Addict did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he probably finished it that same weekend. Whenever he started, he's absolutely a maniac.
Out of control.
Well, that's all I've been playing, guys. Before we get into the news, King, you are the guest, and as we are an Xbox podcast, I gotta ask you some questions. What was your first Xbox, and what's your favorite Xbox franchise?
What was the first one? The OG.
Nice.
I was in Times Square when
you were in Times Square when it launched.
They got footage of some of the Channel 5 dudes there.
That is really cool.
That's
awesome.
We from everything. Like listen, I'm old enough to have Vectrex. I have a every console that has ever been made. I've had it. So,
Yeah.
but what's my favorite Xbox franchise? I would say Halo, right?
Mhm.
Because that's the one who actually started it all. Absolutely. We was in EB Games and I was using the big Duke controller and we went to a dark area and it was like hit the white button for the light to come on. And that moment, they was like, my money was gone anyway. But that moment, I knew my money was gone. Like, it's absolutely leaving my wallet right now because it was like, well, you could put down $100, and I said, no, I'm paying for the game, I'm the console, and I want every game that comes out at launch. So
Yeah.
whatever
Wow.
games it was just like I left the store with everything and an extra controller. Like I had somebody to play with. I don't know what's the habit of that. I'm so used to couch co-op that
Mhm.
I buy an extra controller.
You got to be prepared.
I was that DualSense getting a lot of use, sir.
No, it's not. It's just this DualSense is sitting right here because that's the extra controller.
I mean, there's something to be said about couch co-op, though. You may only have 1 or 2 experiences a year with couch co-op, but they are some of the greatest experiences of
Not
your
at
gaming
my
life.
house. Not no. Like I have things. If you knock it over, I'm taking your mortgage. So not gonna have. You're not coming over here hanging out. No. But we do have Xbox Live. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So the Xbox Live has made the extra controller absolutely irrelevant to me. One game and one franchise that I absolutely want or love from Microsoft, from Xbox, is Blue Dragon.
Okay, that's one we never hear of. I just
Yeah,
talked about that in a video. Yeah, Blue Dragon.
It was probably my first RPG because remember we didn't get what is not Dragon Age, Dragon Quest on Xbox, right? So that was like our version of Dragon Quest. The dude who did Dragon Quest guys, got this, and it was such a great story. And I thought they were going to do a part 2 to it, and I thought it was coming, and I thought it was a huge success for me because that's when Microsoft had went to the East and was bringing back all these games, and this one really stood out to me, and I still hold out hope. Like every E3 or every game announcement that they actually, pair back up with Miss Walker and get this game out. So, hopefully that game will come out. But best franchise has to be Halo. Secret Love is Blue Dragon.
That's a good pick. That's one we
Solid,
haven't heard yet for sure. We got Fable last week from Ryan Turford. I thought you were going to go the Fable route because I know how much you like Fable 2.
Fable 2. Gotta have a bunch
one.
of women.
Best one.
Concubines. Thank you. Everybody says like 3 was the best one, and or 1 because 2. You were able to fornicate in such a manner that you caught diseases. So
yeah,
absolutely not.
There were so many cool mechanics in 2.
Yes.
I mean, it put it a league above any of the other Fables. Absolutely.
Yeah, Fable 2 is my least favorite, but
I know we went through that.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right,
down
guys.
for the fornication. He's not down.
Listen, I got around.
He wants his characters pure.
You don't want to sacrifice your married wife to the Dark Lord at midnight? Come on, for the achievement. Come on, that's good.
Yeah, babe, why are we going in this cave? Oh, I got something set up here. Come on,
just follow me.
We're going on a date. Come here.
You're gonna like this a lot. Trust me.
I sacrificed so many people.
Oh, it's great.
Chevarooney in the chat says STDs too real.
Facts. I was like, what? This game is the best.
So good.
Oh, well, guys, now that we're done with that, it's time for a segue. So have a seat. I'll grab some books and tell you this week's stories. So, story number 1, as I hear Ethan vaping over there.
My bad.
I'm gonna call you out. Okay. Story number 1: Microsoft, Activision Blizzard, and others have stopped their sales in Russia. As other major companies have done, Microsoft and Activision Blizzard have announced the suspension of new sales in Russia. After Ukraine's deputy prime minister urged gaming companies to pull out of Russia, Microsoft has seemingly listened. Brad Smith, the president, states, "We are announcing today that we'll suspend all new sales of Microsoft products and services in Russia. In addition, we're coordinating closely and working in lockstep with the governments of the US, European Union, and UK, and we are stopping many aspects of our business in Russia. Microsoft will also work with Ukrainian cybersecurity officials to protect the country from cyber attacks." The Microsoft, Activision Blizzard join other gaming companies such as CD Projekt Red, Epic Games, Bloober Team, Sony, and more. So, I don't want to spend too long on this. It obviously is a very sensitive issue. But just from my perspective, I think this is the right call. I think that the unification we're seeing, that everyone is making these steps to tell the leadership in Russia, hey, what you're doing is unacceptable. And I don't view it as punishing the Russian people. Obviously, people are going to be impacted by this. I don't think Putin is the one logging on to Xbox Live and being like, I can't play right now.
That was exactly, yeah.
Could you imagine?
But
he's creaming kids on Halo Infinite while he's waging a war. That's crazy.
Oh my
God,
lord!
his favorite game is Call of Duty.
Oh my lord!
He plays the no Russian level on Modern Warfare 2 every day.
Oh my god!
Sniper Elite.
You believe it?
Oh god, we're going to hell.
God, yeah. Okay, all right. That's what we're doing, huh?
My bad. I should have brought it up.
I was like,
No,
he did, yeah. I was like, it's a sensitive topic. How about no Russian?
No Russian. Yeah.
God. Okay.
My bad.
No, you're right. Listen, people make jokes to cope about serious situations.
You have to.
I think that's, we got to do what we're going.
What I see with this more than anything, Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, yeah, just say Microsoft.
Microsoft and Activision.
Yeah, we they have to say that right now while the feds is watching
and Activision, Blizzard, commerce,
right? We're separate entities. Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely the right call. You don't want to impact the people that absolutely probably don't have anything to do with that, or their beliefs are in another space. But it's absolutely the right call, because certain things of that nature can't be tolerated. I don't know. I have a different opinion of things. I believe that we live in a civil society, and acts of violence shouldn't be tolerated. And it's just like that. We should be diplomatic, and we should have civil discord to have conversations. So that's what should be. But other people feel differently.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's definitely a sad situation all around, because at the end of the day, the Russian people aren't the ones waging this war. It's not their fault. I know some of them support Putin, but I'm not gonna wrap every Russian person up into the same blanket. It's just that's not fair to them.
Right.
So it's sad, but it has to be done, because what is going on in Ukraine is awful. We've seen the images today out of Mariupol. I don't know, I'm not going to get into it, but they started doing artillery fire on a maternity ward of all places.
Absolutely nuts.
And it's something, and these things have been happening for the last 2 weeks, and they're going to continue to happen. So I'm glad to see Microsoft make this move. I'm glad to see them lead the charge in terms of major companies in the gaming sphere, like the big dogs, of actually going out and taking a stand on this issue. I hope everyone else falls in line for this. So hopefully we see a trend in the gaming community as a whole in boycotting Russia and putting that squeeze on the Russian economy that we need to see.
Yeah.
I know PlayStation announced last night, and I think Nintendo announced today that they were stopping sales. They have followed suit. So it's great to see. Unfortunate situation over there. I just thought it would be disingenuous not to mention it, because it's a very big thing. So let's move on. Get back to the lighthearted stuff. Not no Russian jokes, But
Oh man.
yeah. Story number 2. We're gonna talk about Halo Infinite's disappointing roadmap.
Oh my god. What happened to positive
Well,
stories,
this is
Kevin?
Debbie Downer, are you? What's up?
I go with the
Let's talk
news
about
that's
games.
given
This is
to
the
me.
news.
Let's talk about game. This comes from Joe Staten on Halo Waypoint, and it's a long post, but I'm going to do a brief summary. Staten states they're currently working on 3 main things. Priority number 1 is addressing critical issues such as improving anti-cheat, player progression, etc. Priority number 2 is shipping Season 2 on May 3rd. It was revealed Season 2 will be called Lone Wolves, and the content that will come with that is new armor, playlist updates, balance changes, new maps, and modes. Specifically, we get 1 arena map called Catalyst and 1 big team battle map called Breaker, as well as a new mode called Last Spartan Standing, a free-for-all elimination mode, another new mode called Land Grab, and the return of King of the Hill. The bad news, however, comes in relation to campaign co-op, which will not be ready for Season 2 launch day and is instead being pushed later into Season 2. 343 reaffirmed their commitment to getting 4-player online campaign co-op and local 2-player split screen working within the Season 2 timeframe. They also state Forge is still scheduled for Season 3. So, King, I did listen to Iron Lords this week, so I kind of already, I kind of already know, but I do want to hear, what are your thoughts on the roadmap?
Well, it's called Lone Wolf for a reason, right? They told you in the title.
Yeah.
Nobody's allowed. Like King of the Hill is back, right? Last man standing. Hello. The whole package is about a solo experience. Again, I tell these dudes, they will get it when it's done. And they don't have any need to put it out sooner. It just doesn't make any sense. So they give you the new maps, they give you this stuff. Remember, free to play changes how the game is going to be uh updated and checked in the background. So everybody that they have working on this game, new stuff pop up daily. Cheating must be out of this world. Guys on Steam
Outrageous.
must be going absolutely nuts. And always blaming the PC community.
Yeah.
These PlayStation dudes with these dual sense. It's just like, I don't know. I think they prioritize certain things, and they said, we're going to work on these things as they work on the co-op. I think when co-op does come, it's going to probably be 4-player co-op. They're going to probably give you a nice surprise, give you a nice campaign bonus to it, that co-op actually makes sense in this area, whereas you fight probably 5 of the bosses at one time. Something a little bit extra. And they're probably crafting it around that. They know the disappointment in a lot of people, and I tell people, campaign was great for me. I'm cool. I don't need, Master Chief and the Chiefettes. But at the same time, I understand people say, co-op is a staple, and that should be there from launch. Well, we're dealing with a pandemic, right? And people got to stop thinking that it's a small thing. It's not a small thing. If anyone has tried to travel recently, or do me one better, go buy a video card, right?
Yeah.
And you'll figure out a lot of things that this pandemic has actually affected. And it's not in the sense that it's very slight. Go pick up a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X in the store. You actually can't.
Yeah.
And this is like almost, what is it, 2 years after release now?
Yep.
So we are in uncharted waters, and we have to stop thinking that everything is normal just because we take our masks off. People are still operating from home. They're still not in the office shoulder to shoulder. They still can't walk around and say, "Hey, Tony, remember those assets that I need here? Here's the zip drive. Put it in. Send it over to me so I can get it over to this area." So, sound design. Oh, we didn't sync this up. So it's a lot of moving parts, and they just got this part right here pretty done, and they're shipping it out how they can. A lot of games have been released broken recently. Horizon Zero Dawn has had so many things going on with it. I just saw Gran Turismo 7. The car was like flipping over
Yeah,
crazy.
I've seen that.
Like, and it's little things that can actually turn into big things, but I don't think product testing is actually where it needs to be because they're dealing with all the stuff on the fly. So actually the game came out and they gave it to us in the state that it could. The multiplayer was a separate component, free to play, and people loved it. So again, when it's done, they'll get it. It's a 10-year project. That doesn't mean in 10 years you get co-op. It just means the evolution of the game is going to be that much more longer because really we haven't even started this generation. We're still playing old games on our new consoles. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games. We're still doing that. So when we get these games that are made for these consoles at this time and they really ramp it up, I think then we'll start seeing games are completed a little bit better. Nintendo's in a different space. They work at their own pace. And even Breath of the Wild 2, which should have probably been out a year and a half ago, it's on a delay too, but they just don't give you a date. So, these things happen. So I can wait.
Yeah. Ethan, you want to jump in?
Yeah. If anything, the last 2 years have taught me is to never judge a video game developer for delaying a game. I mean, I actually appreciate it when video game developers delay a game because, like you said, King, co-op, people think co-op is an essential part of the Halo experience. If that comes out broken,
oh God,
nobody's going to forgive them for
Right.
that. That's something that has to be done right. And if they want to delay it a few months, a year even, I don't care. As long as it comes out in a state where it's perfectly playable and I got no issues, I'm happy. So I won't judge them too much on the co-op stuff. What I will judge them on, though, is the amount of maps and game types that we've seen. I mean, this first season of Halo has just not been that fun.
Abysmal.
It's been abysmal. I mean, they've recycled the Tenrai event, 8 times at this point? I'm sick and tired of Tenrai events. I'm sick and tired of playing Fiesta. I haven't picked up Halo Infinite in almost a month now. Which really surprised me because I thought this was going to be like my yearly every night first-person shooter that I was going to hop on and play 10 games and go to bed. That's what I really thought this was going to be. But, they just haven't been updating the content. Now, if this was a game that I paid $60 for and they were releasing DLC packs, I would understand this, but this is a free-to-play model. You have to offer a fan base more content when it comes to free-to-play models, or people are just going to leave and go to other games, and I'm sort of fine with not having a million maps, to play on. But at the end of the day, the majority of the community expects a lot more out of it, So I don't know. 343, I understand this is their first foray into the free-to-play model, into the live service model. They might not have the most experience, but hopefully they get their acts together and this update looks cool. I'm not going to lie. Some of the game types on here look cool. Some of the maps I'm excited for, but I'm just hoping that we see more content in the future and it starts to ramp up from here because I don't want to have to wait 6 months for 2 maps every time because then I'm just going to be disengaged for 3 months until they start dropping new stuff. And that's not what they need. That's not what they want because they want people playing daily and they want people getting into that store and doing microtransactions so they can actually make money off of this game.
That's another thing that I can't stand with that game. The way the microtransaction work, the progression.
Terrible.
I got like the samurai suit that took me forever to get the samurai suit with stupid missions, and I'm like, and then it became irrelevant after I got it because I don't know. They haven't learned from Bungie yet, and they haven't learned from Diablo. So get Blizzard over there to teach you how to do loot, and because obviously when Bungie was there, you didn't learn anything. So hopefully, Diablo team can get over there and teach you how to do some loot, give you some nice stuff, and I can actually get back to looking good over there.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't touched Halo Infinite in over a month since I finished the Battle Pass. What reason do I have to play multiplayer at this point?
Yep.
Like, I got the majority of the samurai armor, and then a bunch of other games came out. So, like, personally, if you're complaining about Halo, maybe y'all need to play some other games. So, like, is this your only game
Yeah.
you're playing? Like, this funny, you don't have to be playing Halo right now. But
And it hurts me to what you said, Kevin. It hurts me to make the comparison between Call of Duty Vanguard or any Call of Duty release to Halo Infinite. Is when you play Call of Duty, there is no maxing out on
Yeah.
stuff. You're
Mhm.
constantly progressing, whether it be weapon upgrades, weapon skins, whether it be your level, whether it be your battle pass rank. After every Call of Duty game, you got something to look forward to that you just unlocked and that you can use, whether change up your cosmetics or change up your weapons. Halo Infinite just doesn't have that.
Yep.
There's a point every day in Halo Infinite where if you play too much, you get nothing. There's nothing to be obtained from this game after maybe 5 or 6 games in a day. You've done all the challenges, you've done all the dailies. It's over. There's no progression, and with these first person shooters, you're expecting people to play this every single day for a couple hours. You're going to have to offer me more than just a couple ranks up in a battle pass.
Listen, I'm glad they're still working on player progression, because what I sat here on this podcast months before release when they were outlining how the challenge system was going to work, and I was like, great, that sounds awful, and I know exactly how this is going to go. People are going to ignore actually playing the game because they want to complete your stupid challenges.
Exactly.
And what do people do? They ignore the game to complete your stupid challenges. And have I done it? Yeah, you best believe I've gone into big team battle, been like, where's the mangler? I got to get a mangler kill.
Use the mangler,
and spend the entire time getting a mangler kill, because I got to finish the challenge. I got to progress. It's the only way.
I think they need to look over at Fortnite, honestly, because I joked about it. I couldn't stand Fortnite until I had to play it with my son, and got heavily addicted to it. And they had like this Spider-Man whole season pass to it, and he's swinging around on web shooters, and you have the old guy with the young kid, and his play style is absolutely different. But every match there was something that you got. And there was always like a level up, and it was always something different. And during the week, they dropped down different things to do, like, Bonanza, and everybody's using bows or something. So it's the level of changing it up so it doesn't get stale. It just feels like Halo is getting stale, and it's sitting on their hands, not knowing or not having enough content. I think they should have at least 3 to 4 studios working on different content to release monthly, and another studio working on something to release weekly, a little pop-up event that'll pop up and you'll do it, because they had a whole concert inside Fortnite. And the licensees that they do have with Marvel, Disney, they used all the Star Wars licenses, movie licenses, Sony licenses. So they really have to work on putting different skins, getting different things inside the game, and changing the way actually Halo, because they was talking about all this customization stuff right before it, but then the customization seems so tedious, and it seems like they're trying to gouge you when it comes to purchasing things in the store. It just doesn't feel fun.
Yeah.
Right.
My big disappointment is campaign co-op, because I want to play through with my friends on Legendary, but like, that's gonna be. Is it going to be there in whenever, like 3 months? Maybe not for the launch of season 2, but like a month or 2 after. What's really the difference? Like, I'm already waiting for it. I don't have it now, so I don't know. Like, when they announced it at launch that it wasn't going to be there, I was bummed. And then I played the campaign. I was like, I love this campaign. This is my second favorite Halo campaign ever. Like, can't wait to play with this with my friends. And now it's like, I got other games. I will find the time to, wait for campaign co-op. It's not a super big deal for me.
They have to give you a storyline with it when they drop it, to actually pull all the people back in that actually finish the story, and they have to do it in a manner that makes sense, that you have co-op, that you need help, you need Spartans. That has to make sense.
Now, I have an interesting idea that I want to present to you guys. Over the years, we've criticized the model of Call of Duty and how they've drawn in studios to be support studios for Call of Duty and stuff like that. Do you think Xbox could potentially benefit from maybe outsourcing some of the development of a continuous live service Halo game to some other studios? Not necessarily completely take them over and make them just Halo support studios, but do you think we could be like, hey, could you guys make a couple maps for us and
Yeah.
stuff like that? Because we have 30-something studios now on the Xbox side. We could use some of those resources to continuously update Halo and bring us a crap load of content. Do you think that might benefit, the Halo ecosystem?
I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
I think like I said, I don't think they had enough studios. You need at least 3 studios in rotation for an online service game.
Right.
How many employees does Bungie have that they keep Halo? I mean, wow, Destiny. Right, Halo. They keep Destiny as fresh as it is in spots because it does have downtimes, right?
Yeah.
So you have to look at how they can keep a lot of their interest inside the game. What I've noticed is when they went to Activision forced them to change their model in how they was doing DLC, and they made the DLC smaller, but they came out at a frequent pace,
Right.
and that actually pushed interest because normally what Bungie would do is 2 points in a year they would drop DLC. September and probably earlier on in the year, like January.
Right.
And during that whole period of time, there's a downtime. After the first initial 2 weeks, there's a downtime. See you in September. Well, Activision forced them to release at a higher cadence, and that means they had to get more employees. And in doing so, a lot of support studios was helping. Microsoft needs to take a look at what Activision were doing that made Bungie still relevant with Destiny 2. So I think that's an absolute idea, a great idea that you come up with.
Yeah, I think I heard Ty Guy Travis talking about how 343 is kind of learning the lessons that Bungie learned with Destiny 1. Like,
Yeah.
The season's too long, and that's really, if the season wasn't this long, then I don't think people would be complaining nearly as much as they are. If you get smaller bursts of content, like you were saying, I think 343 will figure it out. The season is undoubtedly way too long, and they're upsetting people. And then when they add on, things that people want that aren't coming in the time they want it, they get more upset. But like, you just have to accept things at a certain point. Like you yelling and sending death threats to developers isn't going to get you campaign co-op faster. People
absolutely ridiculous.
People just overreact, and like, you're not. First of all, 99% of the people doing this, like, you can't make a video game. Why are you coming at devs?
I can't.
Well, there's a sense of entitlement, and the internet makes it easy for you to show your anus, which they use as their mouth and your fingers on their face. So I tend to and it sucks because usually those people are highlighted. Right, and they are the vocal minority, not the majority, because the majority of us are level-headed working individuals that have common sense and understand patience because we were taught that. These other ones aren't. Now, please excuse our warts.
Facts.
It's kind of just how live service go, though, right? Like, like if you looked at Destiny 2's player count before the Witch Queen dropped, and then after the Witch, like, content will drive people back to it. So everyone, like, even we discussed it. Like, are the player numbers worrying? Like, no, not really. Like, this always happens. The hardcore is going to keep playing, and the other people will come back when there's a reason to come back. That's what I'm waiting for. Like, I mean, give me a reason to come back, I'll come back. Like, the game's great. I loved Halo Infinite, but I got
so too much stuff. Yeah.
Anything else on that before we move on, boys?
I'm good.
All right. Story number 3 is Perfect Dark going to be revealed at E3. This comes from Jordan Midler at Video Game Chronicle, who cites Jeff Grubb on the Xbox Era podcast, who will be celebrating their 100th episode with Phil Spencer. Just shouting that out. Go check that out. In relation to a viewer question about what Xbox will show at E3, Jeff Grubb stated, quote, Perfect Dark could come out in 2023, could easily come out 2024, but I think we get Avowed, Perfect Dark, and at some point they've had close to 5 full years of development. They definitely need to spend time showing Starfield. They will probably spend a lot of time on Redfall and Forza Motorsport 8.
Yeah.
I think everyone could have guessed that.
I don't think we see Perfect Dark.
No.
No. I think he's off on that. You know, maybe they have a developer talk with no gameplay, with no footage.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see like you said, more Forza. Well, they have to put Forza out actually. Well, show Forza 8. They have to show a little bit of a Valve. Um, a lot of the immediate games that are in the immediate future, those games will be showed because I don't think they're going to stretch too far out on their roadmap. I think Perfect Dark has to be hit just right.
Yeah.
It's too much weighing on that one particular game for some weird reason that they have to hit that one out of the park. So I think that one is probably 2024.
Mhm.
If late 2023. And we notice now that Microsoft Cadence, which I really don't like, is towards the end of the year and in high releases as high profile games. I think the studios need to release in quarters, and I think that's ideal for Game Pass to actually grow its numbers. Because if you're waiting for the seasons, in the end, you're losing out on what Nintendo found out is the whole income tax check money, and they're dealing with it in that space. Because right now Elden Ring is really hitting because people had some extra cash right now, right? So you got the income tax, you're like, what? I'm gonna pick up
Yeah.
a game right now. I got $100, right? So that usually happens like right now, and just during this period of time. So and I was off because I thought Sony wouldn't release Horizon and Gran Turismo in the same space.
Mhm.
But what Nintendo showed you was in February and March, you can launch consoles and games of high caliber and they actually sell. And that's because there goes that income tax boost in that space. There's a huge spending space there. Sometimes is usually a downtime. Kids are home, you're spending, you're going on trips, you're not really home. And then from September on, you have that space. I think Microsoft needs to change their September schedule on and try to really get some of the early years. So no, I don't see Perfect Dark there. I see probably some more talk about Dragon Age, but they must
Yeah.
talk more and show Starfield.
Mhm.
I think
Yes.
the huge thing at E3 or whatever, because there's no E3,
Yeah.
whatever it's going to become, it's it has to be shown. We have to know what it's about. We have to see some actual gameplay of it. I don't want to see no more CGI impressions of the thing. I want a little bit more
Yep.
concrete information of the game because it's going to be released this year, hopefully,
Mhm.
and we know nothing.
Yeah.
If they're supposed to be game of year contender and you know nothing of it, we know what God of War Ragnarok is going to be. I mean, even if it's
Yeah.
using old assets, I don't care. You know, it's a continuation of a story. We knew what Horizon was going to be, so it's this game needs to start letting people know what it is to build anticipation. Yeah, we're gonna have Redfall. I think Redfall is going to be in it. I think Deathloop is going to release
Mhm.
with an extra board or extra something inside Game Pass because remember it was a time exclusive. So you're going to see the Xbox version of
Yeah.
Deathloop actually there because
Mhm.
that's going to be released in Game Pass. So yeah, I think Deathloop and a couple of those other games that were shown in the indie build up that hasn't been released yet.
Yep. I think I forgot about Deathloop. I think that's a good shout because Deathloop is September
Yeah.
that Game Pass will be dropping in
Right.
there. So
Right.
a little more content for the Xbox people would be great to entice people. Even if you played it already on PlayStation, pick it up in Game Pass, try out the new content. It's going to drive subscriptions for sure. But I don't care if we see Perfect Dark. I think I'm not. I'm more of like show me when it's close to release.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
I really don't like being shown trailers and then being told like it's 2 years away. Well, I just if
Outer
it's
Worlds 2,
Wolverine.
more that
Wolverine. Yeah.
Star Wars Eclipse
Oh
2027
my
apparently.
goodness!
Like,
Get out of here.
I just don't. I like the approach I think that they're going to take with Starfield, which is we're going to show you everything like 4 months before release, like or whatever, or they'll showcase.
Yeah.
Drop it all there. They said do the same thing with Fallout 4. So like everyone's
Yeah.
freaking out, like we haven't seen anything about Starfield yet. I'm not worried at all. Like that gives me more confidence. They're dropping this little stuff, get you excited for the actual reveal. So Starfield, Redfall, I don't know. That's supposed to come out in the summer. I'm a little worried about Redfall these days because I'm like, how much longer until we actually see something about that game if it's summer? Because I don't know. I think that might get pushed into the fall.
Right.
Which could be depending on where it lands. Maybe September would be or October, but they'd have 3 releases in a row then. Deathloop, Redfall. We'll see. But I think we see a lot of the smaller projects from Xbox that they were working on. Like Obsidian has that project. The detective one, like Disco Elysium, that project that was apparently in development. That's supposed to come out this year, according to Jez Corden. So they have Grounded to fully launch. So I think they have stuff. They probably have
I'm sure Sea of Thieves will be there doing an update.
Listen, if we're talking about games that have been in development for a while that we want to see, Everwild. I want to see Everwild because that game looked gorgeous and now it's just like gone.
Yeah.
Limbo. Absolutely limbo. Like no, I mean that game actually went into limbo and that was the one they were talking about the most. And then all of a sudden off the radar.
Gone. Yeah.
It's a strange thing. Ethan, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't think they need Perfect Dark for this E3. I think there's enough to fill a whole show, and we have to say Starfield's gonna be the main event, like King said. I mean, Starfield has to be front and center. This is
and Senua Saga too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that too. Like there's enough there that they're gonna fill in an entire E3 show, and they're gonna steal the show again, like they did last year. It's gonna be ridiculous. Perfect Dark could easily be saved for 2023. So I don't know if we're going to see anything. At most, we might see a tiny little teaser or something with the logo or something like that.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Starfield's going to be front and center. And like you were saying, Kevin, I mean, I think we're just going to see a lot of the smaller projects that Xbox is working on. And Avowed is definitely something that I want to see more of. So I'm happy with that being a large portion of the show as well, because that is probably one of my most hyped games of this year is Avowed. I want to see a lot more about that. Absolutely love Obsidian, one of my favorite development studios, and them making this RPG. I mean, I'm just super hyped for it. So I'm ready for that.
But at least that's supposed to come out next year as opposed to Perfect Dark, which is 2 years away still.
Yeah, exactly. So that, with each E3 show, they got to really hammer down what they're doing this year, promote it, and then kind of, tease people on what's coming on next year. So Avowed would be definitely primed to have a good spot at this E3.
Didn't they have more Outer World DLC that was supposed to drop?
Did they?
I believe that when we had them on the show, I think they had another DLC that was supposed to drop or something like that.
That would be awesome.
That'd be crazy.
I've played both DLCs that they've released so far, and they were absolute bangers. They were really fun. Yeah. So
really good stuff. I love the dialogue trees. How they do it.
Classic Obsidian.
Yes. And they lend that over to a couple of guys. I love the sharing of technology in between the development houses that are there, and just because like Obsidian, they have subsets, and they're working on different games there. So we're going to get some surprises this year. I think we're going to get a lot more surprises than we've done in the past because a lot of these companies have learned to be tight-lipped when it comes to E3. So a lot of things has actually been kept quiet because I had one guy that was in my DMs. He stopped being in my DMs now because I explained to him how business actually works. Right.
Exactly.
These huge Fortune 500 companies cannot do deals and keep it quiet. It's like, you think they did the deal and they surprised us at E3? That's not how business works.
Right.
Usually, if the business is almost concluded, we'll know right when it goes live because they're publicly traded, right? So these companies need to let their shareholders know what's going on, and you can look at the trends, and they
Yep.
have to make the announcement. So usually, if you see something right there that day, all you have to do is go to the news line. But being that you're not in that or you're not trading, you won't know. I knew when certain things were being purchased and who they were purchasing, and when they was putting names up, that stuff was already told in the morning, right? But they don't follow that news. So I kind of bust his bubble.
Yeah.
It's like
It's incredible how much gaming news you can get from sources like CNBC and
very
Fox
easy.
Business and
Bloomberg.
Marketplace
Bloomberg,
and
yep.
Bloomberg. It's
Yeah.
insane because, like King David was saying, money talks in the business world. And if you want investors and you want new investment, you got to make it known what your roadmap is. You got to promote your product. And
Yes.
these guys are not shy about promoting their product to investors. So absolutely.
Like I
Take a look at
knew
those
about
sources.
the Blizzard thing because I deal in print media. So I knew
Yeah.
about the Blizzard thing that night. I knew about Activision that night. And I took pictures and I was sending it because it just fresh off the presses. And I was like, and I'm taking pictures and I'm
Yeah.
sending it to people at 2:00 in the morning, like, yo, you're not gonna believe this. This is absolutely nuts.
Crazy.
And now, people are always looking for, oh, so what's the next studio so and so is going to buy, or what's the next studio? You should actually worry about what's the new games
Yeah.
that are coming out, because there's enough studios that are releasing these games, and we should see a ton of games that was held back from last year, that got delayed from last year, that couldn't be announced last year, that's going to be announced this year. I think this June is going to be a huge June for the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Nintendo as a whole, because we didn't see that Kirby thing coming. I didn't see the Kirby thing coming,
No.
and it looks
No.
absolutely amazing. It looks like one of the best Kirby games that's gonna drop soon. So hopefully we can get a Banjo Kazooie. Yeah, you
You just spoke Kevin's language.
yeah,
boy.
I'm down with that. I have
Yeah.
that too.
My
Like,
boy.
Dad, I want a new Conquer's Quest. I mean, but Conquer's Bad Fur Day. I want these things to happen, and they have the studios now that they can say, look at the IPs on the wall, and how about your take on this? What is your take on this game, and how would that work with you? That's what I want. I want new announcements. We already seen certain stuff that we want gameplay for that, but the new announcements coming forward. I want new announcement of old IPs. I want
Right.
bring back some old IPs. Go back into what we thought was dead and gone, and actually work on these. Because to see Alan Wake go multi-plat now, kind of stings a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Alan Wake's so good.
Yes.
People
Really good.
don't understand like how good Alan Wake is, and like I think they woke up when they played the remaster that came
Yes.
out this year.
Yeah.
But like it's always been good. Like people were sleeping on that game, and now they're like, oh, we're all gonna get to play it, which is fine. I don't care if everyone gets to play it, but like I'm
I
glad
do.
it's.
Mine. No, I mean, listen. If it's in Game Pass and everybody else that you can purchase it for $70, I don't care. Get in Game Pass if you want to get down.
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
No $70. No,
No,
I don't like that
no.
$70.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's over there, it could be. That's how they do it, right?
Yeah.
$70 over there. Over here, we got that $10 rebate tax. Let's bring that rebate back. Let's bring it back.
But yeah, I agree. I would love them to start bringing back franchises. Banjo-Kazooie obviously is one that I made a whole video for our channel, the history of Banjo, and like pleaded at the end to bring it back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Banjo is something I love. I want once the deals close, a new Crash Bandicoot, new Spy. Like I want all these mascot, the platformers.
Blood in the streets.
I just want mascot
Yeah, I know.
platformers. That's all I want.
Bring it back, right?
Sly Cooper over on PlayStation. You're making me mad, Sony. Where's my Sly Cooper?
Did you play Lucky Sale?
Yes, I have. I did play Lucky's Tale.
Did you play it first inside VR first?
No, I've never played VR. No, I don't have a VR. I just play it
Oh,
on
come on.
the new Super Lucky's Tale on Game Pass when I got my Series X.
Okay, so I played it first in VR, right? That's where I was first introduced to it. And I just really didn't know how they was gonna bring it over because it was absolutely amazing. I'm a super VR head back,
Mhm.
when it first started. Now Cog has just taken that once he joined Facebook to the next level. But then when it came over to Xbox with the new Super Lucky Sale, and my son looked over like, "You're playing that?" I'm like, yeah, like
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to be playing guns and blood all day? No, I actually love this. This is what I grew up on, platformers. And then I introduced him to Banjo Kazooie.
Mhm.
He was upstairs, the one that you can make the cars.
Yeah,
You
nuts and
can
bolts.
make-
Yep.
Nuts and bolts, yeah.
Yo, literally for like 2-3 months. Dad, look what I made. Look what I made. Look what I made.
That's a
So
beautiful thing.
he loves that
Absolutely.
game. He wants it back.
I want
I
them
want
back
it
too.
for him.
Yeah.
I'm not even a nuts and bolts fan because I don't like the redesigns and like the change from the
Yeah.
actual but first of all, nuts and bolts kind of ahead of its time with the whole like making stuff that would become popular among the
Yeah.
younger demographics. But
Yeah.
platformers, I play platformers all the time. Like that's my second favorite behind JRPGs. I think if I could just play those for the rest of my life, I'd probably be a happy gamer. I don't care about other genres. Give me cute little animals and I can jump up. Like that's all I need. That's all I need, man. Yeah, I'm down with that. New Super Lucky Style I really liked. So
Yeah,
that's
me too.
dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, Microsoft, Banjo Kazooie, make it happen, please.
Let's
I
do
know
it.
me and Boom
That'd be
are yelling at you
crazy.
constantly for this.
That'd be crazy this year if that happens.
We'll
And
find
it's
out.
incredible because it could happen. I mean, we're
Yeah.
living in an amazing age of gaming, and we all really need to appreciate it. I think this is an absolutely incredible time to be a gamer and be a part of this community. So,
For sure.
anything could happen.
For sure. All right, guys, we'll move on to the last story of the day. And this one's going to be a little silly. Game devs have attacked Elden Ring. So this comes from PlayStation Lifestyle. I know, Xbox show. But multiple Ubisoft and PlayStation Studio developers have publicly criticized Elden Ring's performance, user experience, and quest design. Starting with Ahmed Salama, Ubisoft's user experience director, who complained that Elden Ring's Metascore of 97 is, quote, proof reviewers don't give a flaming poop about game user experience. Rebecca Fernandez O'Shea, the graphics programmer at Nixus, added reviewers didn't care about the game's PC graphics, stability, or performance. And Horizon Forbidden West senior quest designer, I don't have his name here, criticized the game's quest design. So King, did you see this going down on Twitter? I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't see this go down at all. So this was like I got sent it, and I was like, what is happening here?
I saw it. Okay, so a couple of them, I can hear the salt just glistening, just caking up on them and falling off. The Horizon dude is like basically what he was yelling at. Why you put that game out next to my game?
Yeah,
It cannibalized my sales. That guy, our mission structure is crazy. It's better than yours. You just tell people to do whatever, and it worked for you. Yeah, that's when you have a highly anticipated game from 2019, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it actually released and it actually lived up to expectations. Far exceeding people expectations of the game. How about work on your broken game? I don't think devs should ever criticize devs. Like I don't ever think podcasters and YouTubers should ever criticize podcasters and YouTubers. I mean, in public forum, that's something that you do in the background. You talk plenty of times I pull somebody coat like, yo, dude, that that topic was crazy and you shouldn't have did that, or you shouldn't have said this or whatever. But that's in the background, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not in the public, right? I don't think that if we are in the same profession that I should have public word on how a game performs, especially if this game is doing well, because now it looks like you're clout chasing. Now it looks like
Right.
throwing rocks at the throne. Sounds like you're bitter. As far as Nixus, which is my heart, I love that Sony purchased them. Because that means all of your games will be on PC at some point in time. And she actually cares about performance. She was upset with the PC performance. Maybe during the pandemic, you can get dev kits with these video cards, because didn't AMD just release the 6 series now, actually 2 years later, right? These next gen consoles were released almost 2 years ago, and now the 6 is releasing. So again, that sounds like sour grapes. It sounds like it shouldn't have been said, and maybe those things was taken out of context, but they shouldn't have been released. And I don't think that should happen. They should just issue public apologies. I didn't mean it to come off like that. The game is great. The mission structure, I would have. Don't say anything. It's a great game. Salute. Hats off. Keep winning, because when you're winning, you want somebody to do the same to you. Hats off. Win. So I don't know. Sour grapes to me.
Yeah.
You want to jump in there, Ethan?
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to be talking about another game's development unless it's constructive. It just like you were saying, King, this is something I understand. Professionals criticizing other professionals in their own industry, saying, hey, that's not how we do business. That's not a good way of doing things. But you shouldn't just go on Twitter and start blasting people. If you really have a legitimate concern, contact people personally and say, hey, I got some ideas that could help you guys out. We're all part of one community. We're all part of the same profession. We should be helping each other out, and we should be promoting each other. So, this did come off as salt. And I don't know how these guys didn't see how this would come off as anything else other than salt. And also this is also kind of sad too, because it makes it look like they're talking down to the community, to the gamers, to the video game journalists who are reviewing this, because a lot of people really, really love Elden Ring, me included. And so when I see people in these other development studios criticizing it and trying to nitpick at it, it's kind of insulting. It's like, it's not that I don't care about your part in this. I understand there's some flaws in Elden Ring because of this, but the game itself is incredible and we love it, and it's special to us. So why are you nitpicking this, nitpicking that? It's just not constructive, and it's not necessary. I'm sure if they could go back, they wouldn't have made these tweets. It's just kind of ridiculous. And yeah, I think they were a little upset about how successful Elden Ring was. They might have been jealous. But it's just unfortunate. I don't think it needed to be aired out in public like this.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Are they allowed to feel this way? Absolutely.
Yeah,
they might
can say whatever they want.
They might feel that they have valid criticisms too. I'm sure other people might feel they have valid criticisms, but to go on Twitter and publicly blast your peers is a whole different thing. Like, maybe the user experience director could call up the user experience director over at FromSoft and be like, why did you guys decide to make your interface like this? And then maybe the guy from Ubisoft can be like, why isn't there a bunch of icons that telling you where to go and all this other like, why did you do your quest log the way you did, or you didn't do it in this instance because there isn't a quest log? Like, have those discussions behind the scenes and see if that'll work for the game that you want to build. Every game can be different. If players resonate with this game, it doesn't mean you have to do it in your next game. Maybe there's something to learn there, though, if you have those conversations.
Exactly.
And then also to call out video game journalists saying they don't give a poop about, about UX. Like, there's no need for that. You need to understand that video game reviewers are not always going to agree with you. That's the nature of reviewing. Developers are never going to agree with reviewers. It's the same thing with restaurant reviewers. It's the same thing with hotel reviewers or any other sort of reviewers out there in this world. There's always a conflict between the people that make the product and the people that review the product. So, but it is a symbiotic relationship at the end of the day. So why would you go out and call out with malice those other people? You have to understand.
It's hating the favorite kid.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Because I mean, let's call a spade a spade. From Software is really can't do any wrong
Mhm.
type of
Yeah.
developer, right?
Yeah.
And they've really went against all convention at all times. But
Yeah.
what they did listen to was their community, because they did not care about what any critic was saying, but
Right.
they listened to the community. And when they did listen to the community, and in every instance, and I've noticed it from the beginning, they've listened to the community, they have iterated on their games in that same manner and
Mhm.
gave them everything that they've asked for. And this is the culmination of that. That's why that 97 Metacritic is there.
Yep.
And what these people fail to realize is the people that were reviewing the games, the majority of them, if they weren't fans, they wanted to know why somebody
Mhm.
liked it. And then when they got to review it, they were like, oh, this is absolutely amazing. They made it a little bit easier. This is a little bit
Yep.
different. The exploration to it. It took me back to 16-bit games where exploration meant something, right?
Mhm.
Where you turned a corner, you didn't know, oh, wow, what's over here? The curiosity factor. It brought the kid back in a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if your game doesn't do this, right, or if you felt you felt that the stability of it, well, why? Because a 3080 couldn't run it with all effects on, dial it back a little bit, boo boo, right? That's how I feel, right? So that's how, and just because it was a woman that said that, no, I'm just saying, dial it back, right? That's what I've done. I took the
Yep.
scales on my PC, and if it's not running right, I dial it back. Volumetric fog, bring it back down some. Load distance, bring it back down some. A lot of times you can't run everything at max settings. Our consoles don't run at max settings, so
Mhm.
stability issues there. That's a weird one for me. To
Right.
criticize the intelligence of the people that's reviewing the game or that's purchased the game, um that's a no,
No.
because then you're going to be looked at in a manner later on when it comes to your game. I know the salt with Horizon is, this was our time. Zelda's not here now. you know um this was it. This was our moment, and you just came and stomped all over our moment.
Yeah.
Sucks. You're Metroid. That's it. You
Yep.
you you eat outside. You don't eat inside
Yep.
the house.
And I think it's crazy too that these people made these statements. Like, did they even read any of the reviews on this game? I mean,
I doubt
you
it.
read some of these reviews and you see the passion of the people reviewing them and how excited they are for this game. Like, I always go back to Tamor Hussein of GameSpot. He's always on Kind of Funny. He's a huge Souls fan. And the absolute passion that came through in his article. Like, don't tell these reviewers that they don't know what they're doing. These people live, breathe, and die these video games. They know what they're doing.
Mhm.
There's
Yep.
there You don't need to come out and try and personally insult them because your game didn't do as good as this game. It's absolutely crazy to me. But hopefully they regret their decision. That's all I
Well,
gotta say.
they made their Twitters private, and I was just on the.
Yeah,
I mean, just because I assumed the vitriol that was going at them.
they
The
got
Elden
destroyed.
the
Probably.
Elden Ring subreddit started making memes about if Ubisoft made Elden Ring, and
Oh my
they're
god.
good memes over there.
The
But like,
maps would be crazy.
yeah, yeah. The pictures were funny. Someone made today if Polyphony Digital made Elden Ring, and it had like had a car in the world.
$50.
Oh
$50
man.
for a glove.
But yeah, I think criticizing reviewers is also like, it's just dumb,
It's
especially like
cringe. It's cringe.
it's the same reaction I have when people are like, reviewers only give good scores to keep their access, or like they're paid to give review. And I'm like,
No.
being in
Certain
the
people.
well, but like reviewers I
Yeah.
know, like reviewers I know don't do that. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I will always give the reviewers the benefit of the doubt, because the ones I've talked to, like Travis and Ains, or like they're
Yeah,
very
you're talking
good,
about
like,
the really good guys
yeah.
that
Yeah.
actually give real honest reviews. But I've heard some horror stories of
Ooh.
people
Oh yeah.
reviewing certain things, and they don't receive a copy of that next big
Hmm.
blockbuster from The S on his chest.
That happened with
company.
that happened with the Horizon guy. He didn't get a Gran Turismo
Oh
copy.
man,
It's disrespectful.
how did that happen?
He gave Horizon a 6 or something.
Maybe we need some regulation. You know,
I
don't know.
don't know. I mean,
Kinda sucks.
it doesn't stop the review. Like they're just gonna go buy a copy and do a
And
review.
now
Like
you're done.
the review is still the review is still gonna come out. Like
It's coming.
I'm still blasting you. Like, I
Yeah.
don't
Gotta get this work.
Gran Turismo got a 4.
And let me tell you why, Jim. Like what?
I emailed you and you didn't answer, Jim.
I got the DMs, buddy.
That's just his
You
review.
left me on red.
All right. Well, that's all we got for the show today, guys. King, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. This was awesome. I hope you had a good time.
Thank
You are welcome back here anytime you want. Absolutely. This was great. Can you let people know, for some reason, if they don't know, where to find you?
Oh, trust me, they don't know. I don't have millions of followers at all. So hey guys, please follow me. No, King David OTW on Xbox. Xbox 360 Lover 01 on PlayStation platforms.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it is real.
You're in hostile territory there.
And if you see me, I have the little monkey icon because I love Ape Escape. That's one of my
Hell
favorite
yeah.
games. They need to bring that game back.
Oh, that got me.
That's what made the DualShock dope. Iron Lords podcast Sundays at 1 p.m. during non-football season. During football season is 11 a.m. Don't worry about it. Eastern Standard Time. Fridays, DCX, that's Darth Castle X at 9 p.m. where I'm sitting down with a couple of thousandaires. Some might be millionaires and they're just hiding their money. So we talk about all these wonderful statues that that cost a pretty penny. And we talk about the new stuff coming out. We talk about a whole bunch of things. I have new shows and stuff going. Go to lordsofgaming.net. That's the website. We're going to PAX East, and that's where we actually report on all the news. So a lot of dudes wait for news to hit them. No, we actually go out and get the news, and we will be giving you every new game that is on that floor. I usually do at least, by the time I'm finished with PAX, 50 uploads, at least 20, 30 interviews. We really work very hard to give y'all all the new information.
It's awesome.
And all the recent stuff. So check us out.
That is awesome. Yeah. And if you haven't listened to Iron Lords podcast, I don't know what you're doing. Genuinely one of the best gaming podcasts out there. I listen every single week. I have for a long time. Gets me through my Mondays because
it's like 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Gets me through my Monday work day.
The whole work day.
The whole work day. That's right. Weekends are girlfriend time, so I can't always catch it live. But I was lucky enough to be on it, and that's still one of the highlights of doing this whole thing.
I had
so
a great time. That's why when you reached out, I was like, "The Muffin Man reached out to me."
I still can't believe it, but that was fantastic. So everyone, please go over to Iron Lords, lordsofgaming.net. Everything, it's fantastic. So, Ethan, where can they find you?
They can find me at WhiteCedar1 on Twitter and Gravy3448 on Xbox.
Dope.
And you can find me at the Muffin Mon. It's a 1 instead of an I and an O instead of an A. Follow us at Project XTalk on Twitter. Stay up to date with all our latest. If you haven't, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Want it by the end of the year. So if you guys can help us, we appreciate it. But until next time, we'll see you. Goodbye, guys.
Peace.